maybe there's a DJ out there somewhere who has a few regrets and a list of things that he meant to do but hasn't gotten round to yet. Well, maybe he'll feel a little empathy and play this on his FM show. Better late than never. Here's my thanks to whoever plays my song on the radio. Better late than never. Here's my thanks to whoever plays my song on the radio.
Good day, planet Earth. Michael Litton, the last DJ, host of Ride the Vibe, playing what he wants to play and saying what he wants to say, and broadcasting from the beautiful living room like studio DRSATL right here in Roswell, Georgia. And this is a first, y'all. We are not only live, but we got a video component this time. And DRS Atlanta's new value proposition, they're offering up video podcasts. So you definitely want to check them out. And I'm just over the moon, totally stoked to have Hughes Taylor in the studio, you all, and which is a first since the world changed. But we are appropriately social distanced by his beautiful guitar, Sable. So Hughes, welcome.
Thank you so much, Michael.
Oh my gosh, and we're going to play some music because that's the way we roll here for your fans that are Legion. We do a CD listing party format. So we're going to play a portion of a number of your songs because we want people to go out and buy your music. And then when things open back up, go out and see you live, which is most important because you don't make much money on the album sales.
No, not as much as you'd hope.
Yeah. So because I am the last DJ and I can say what I want to really, really ask the Roswell politicians to open up our live music venues, Alive in Roswell, Music on the Hill, Riverside Sounds, and Food Truck Fridays, because gigging, there are no gigs for musicians, and that's where they make their dough, y'all. So we got to open that back up and get the musicians playing again. What do you think? And then, Hughes, the way we roll this show, we like to encourage listeners to sit back in the comfort of an environment of their choosing with a beverage of their choice. And in the studio, we are featuring a delicious Kale Me Crazy tropical tripping smoothie. So cheers.
Cheers.
And my good friend Phil Wall hooked us up with this. Phil hooked us up in the spirit of trying to be preventative. We've got wellness shots. And I've sampled some of mine, and it's pretty darn good. I'm going to have a little bit more here. It's got turmeric and ginger. And Phil is unbelievable. You know, just like all businesses and musicians and everyone else on the planet, had to reinvent himself and his business because business had dropped off so precipitously. So Phil, as a creative entrepreneur, said he was going to go out into the market and embrace a program that he started called Feed the Front Line. And what that means is he's taking donations into Kale Me Crazy, and then he's taking that money and putting together meals, good, healthy Kale Me Crazy meals and wellness shots, and he's providing them to 4 hospitals in the surrounding area. So Feed the Front Line, what an incredible program. And he's given out, he told me today, and I can't remember the numbers, but hundreds and hundreds of meals, hundreds and hundreds of wellness shots. So Feed the Front Line, seriously consider donating to that and definitely get into Kale Me Crazy. As Phil likes to say, he wants to kale this virus. Oh, my gosh, Hughes. Enough about that stuff. How are you?
I'm well. I'm doing very well.
Good. And enjoying the smoothie and the wellness
great.
shot. Well, welcome. You are a Maconite.
Yep, I have lived in Macon my whole life up until I moved to college. So.
Yeah. So incredible hotbed for music. Talk about some of your influences and
Macon. You know, obviously most popular is the Allman Brothers from Macon, and they're the blues and the blues rock sort of vibe that they had in their early years, and then the Southern rock as they sort of pioneered that path is the thing that really has driven my musical tastes and the way I play and perform and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So the Allman Brothers and you know all the awesome bands and you know rest in peace Little Richard.
You just read my mind.
Making his mourning currently. So
and a little known fact, Jimi Hendrix.
Yeah,
Hendrix
played with
Little
Little Richard.
Much to Little
in his
Richard's
early
dismay, I think, at times.
years. Sometimes, yeah.
As I understand it, the crowd's going crazy, and Little Richard goes, yeah, yeah, yeah. And then he'd look at his Hendrix playing his guitar with his teeth. He goes, no, you got to get out of my band. Another influence of yours.
Yeah,
Hendrix.
big influence of mine,
Yeah.
for sure. Hendrix and all of his lineage of guitar playing. So,
Well, you had a rare and unbelievable opportunity that came your way. Talking about the Southern rock opportunity, or Southern rock, you know, putting Southern rock on the map. Capricorn Records and Phil Walden.
yes.
Talk about that experience.
Man, so you know, Capricorn Records, or Capricorn Sound Studio has just reopened. They've reopened the historic studio, and they've also opened the B Studio, which is a new renovation that they've done. And I say we, the Hughes Taylor Band, we had the first, we had the opportunity to be the first band to record in the historic studio since, I mean, you know, years and years and years. So it was incredible.
Does it give you chills?
It does.
As
As I'm talking about it now, I'm getting.
Yeah.
I mean, just being in the room itself was incredible, and then to be in the sound booth, you know, that they had built. I think Greg's request. I think I won't say much about it because I don't want to be wrong on my history there. But
you can be. You're the, you're in the home of the last DJ, so you can say what you want.
But man, it was just an unbelievable experience, an opportunity. Rob Evans, who's become a really good friend. He's the one in charge of the studio, the head engineer.
Yeah.
He was awesome to work with. And you know, we got to be the guinea pigs and help set things up and connect wires and figure out the board that they had.
So all new technology, but the environment, as I understand it from reading, the cigarette burns and all that.
It's all still there. All the original. The room itself has not changed except for they repainted some of the panels
since the 70s.
Since the 70s.
Wow.
And the studio, the room. Is still the same. It's an amazing room, by the way. I don't remember the name of the designer, but he's this super awesome, very, very talented architect that built this studio itself and the design. And the walls are made of all different types of materials. So there's like cork, and then there's stone, and then there's like a carpet, and then there's a giant. I think they said it was like 17-foot deep foam.
Oh my gosh! To give it
sort of thing.
Really good acoustics.
It's a bass trap, and it's covered by this exact same that they had in the 70s. This old curtain.
Tapestry.
Tapestry.
Yeah.
Man, it was.
That's my era.
Yeah, it was.
I'm sure I had one of those.
It was incredible. So all of that's the same, and the things that they've updated are like all the equipment. You know, they have all the connections and all the wiring and things. Well, there's still original wiring in certain parts of the room and stuff, but the board is the biggest thing to talk about. I mean, they had this amazing. I think. Man, I wish I could remember these little details. I was so blown away by everything.
I'm sure, overwhelmed.
Like 42 channel board that they had made
specifically for it.
Specifically, it's the first of its kind. Where, and the coolest thing about it is that it's completely analog up until you get to the faders, and the faders act as an interface to go into the computer so that you can record. You can record on the computer, but everything is analog up until that point. And when you control the faders, it controls the computer. And so it's just this amazing blend of original analog technology and the newest state-of-the-art, digital technology that they have.
So it's the best at embracing the genius of the and.
Yeah, and
old
it was
school and new technology.
Yeah. It was Greg's request, to my understanding, to keep it completely original, not to change the room before he passed. And
wow.
So
I love it. And it is now opened.
It is right
Well,
now.
now,
Yeah, things
yeah,
are. But
right.
they've been open. Their opening was late January.
Yeah.
Mid-January.
I
But anyway, they asked us to play.
Yeah.
As a part of an opening thing, we were asked. It wasn't for the opening, but it was for an event that they had after the opening,
Yeah.
and we had to turn them down because we were in the UK.
And I want to get to that, but we got to save that story.
Yeah.
But I think we need to hear the song that you recorded
Yeah,
at Capricorn Studios.
the very first single cut
in Macon, Georgia. Now, how cool is that? So we're going to cue up "Trouble."
All right.
Was that? And I'll ask you after after we hear a little bit of the song if that has a reference to Stevie Ray's "Double Trouble." But
No reference actually. I never made that connection.
we'll talk
Thanks
about
for
your
pointing it out.
hookup with Stevie Ray.
Yeah.
So let's hear a little bit of "Trouble," a single from Hughes Taylor's band.
Trouble on my mind. There ain't no use in trying to ease my mind of aches and pains. There's trouble with me all of my days. Trouble on my mind. Trouble on my mind. Trouble on my mind. Been mistreated for far too long. My only peace, singing my song. So pray for me, Lord, hear my plea. This trouble of mine, it won't let me be. Trouble on my mind.
You are back on Ride the Vibe. Michael Litton, the last DJ, playing what he wants to play. And in this case, playing the brilliant music of Hughes Taylor. That was "Trouble," recorded at Capricorn Studios in Macon, Georgia.
Yes, sir.
The first.
Yeah.
Talk about how that connection came about and your, connection to Phil Walden, well, Phil's brother, Alan.
Yeah, well, my mom is really good friends with Jessica Walden and family friends, and Jessica is the daughter of Alan, brother of Phil.
Yeah.
And so our families have been connected for a while, but as far as recording there, though, it's actually thanks to Phil Palma, who I played with in the Highway 41 band in Macon. And he has a afternoon radio show at The Creek, which is Macon's radio.
Big radio.
And who is, partnered with Rob Evans, who runs the other side of the creek. And Rob called us up and, said, would you in your band be ready to come down and test out the studio? Help
No,
us?
we don't want to.
Oh, yeah, I was like, no, we're there. Tell us when.
That's funny.
So-
Well, how in the world, or not how in the world, but when did you pick up a guitar?
I picked up a guitar a lot earlier on than I usually talk about because I didn't get serious about it till I was about 12 years old. But my uncle had a very small collection of guitars, and anytime we'd go and see them, they live in North Carolina. Anytime we'd go and see them, I played, just made noises with it, and he taught me a couple of riffs.
Yeah.
But I didn't know that's what they were called. You just,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, this is Smoke on the Water, and this
Yeah.
is Sunshine of Your Love, and this is, you know, so.
He's accomplished guitarist, your uncle?
Well, he passed a few years ago, but interestingly, the family gave me his not the guitar. The guitars go to my cousins, but they gave me his amp and pedal that I made all the noises on, and they're a part of my regular set and everything. I use it every day. So,
oh my gosh! So he's there in
yes,
in spirit.
definitely.
So
He was my very first, I think my very first that I can remember introduction to a guitar.
Yeah.
And so I knew how to hold it, but that was it, you know, and I could play Sunshine of Your Love. That was about it.
Yeah.
And then when I was about 11 years old, we would go and see some family friend play every Tuesday at a restaurant, and in the middle of his set, I expressed interest in wanting to play. My dad had a Les Paul that he let me have, and so the guy we would go see, his name was Keith. He wrote down how to play a G chord and sent me home with it. And the next week I came back, he gave me another one, sent me home with that one, and we did that until I learned enough to come up and play with him. And he was the first one to bring me up on stage and play in front of people, and that was great. And around that same time,
did your life change? I mean, that
first time playing on stage was
seismic.
I was like,
you were like, everything's changed.
This is what I'm gonna do.
The world's.
I'll go to school. I'll do things, but this is what I'm gonna do.
It. Yeah.
And
wow.
Yeah, and from then on, especially when I was in, I guess I was 11 or 12, so it was around 6th grade, I guess.
Yeah.
7th grade, I didn't put the guitar down, and I bought my first guitar, and I didn't put it down unless I was at school, or I mean, even when I was sleeping, it was by my bed.
Because you hear that we were talking about the Stevie Ray Vaughan.
Yeah.
They're sleeping with her. Both the Vaughan boys are sleeping with her.
Yeah.
Well, this is flying by, but we got to take if you don't mind, we're going to take just a short break to support our sponsor. In this case, which is DRSATL Atlanta. Great studio here. Wahid Gomes, the proprietor. And we've got Otis Tillman on the video, again, for the first time with Ride the Vibe. Really stoked about that. And when we come back, we're going to play, we're going to talk about Hughes's connection or, interest in Jimi Hendrix. And we're going to play a song, Voodoo Joe, off their Good Blues Fast EP. So we'll be right back. Ride the Vibe, Michael Litton.
DRS provides professional audio mixing and mastering services. They also provide other creative services such as voiceover editing, audio restoration, and audio forensics. They have great customer service, their work is fast and efficient, and their prices are affordable. You can learn more about their creative services by visiting them on the web at DRSATL.com. Again, that's DRSATL.com, or call them at 404-590-0779. Again, that's 404-590-0779. DRS, when the right sound matters.
You are back on Ride the Vibe. Michael Litton, the last DJ, having a fascinating conversation with Hughes Taylor out of Macon, GA. And we're going to play, as we teed it up, we're going to play a little Voodoo Joe, Hughes' tribute to Jimi Hendrix, one of his, not mentor, but an influence. Influencer.
Influences, for sure.
And this is off his EP, Good Blues Fast, which is a tribute to all Hendrix, or tribute
Not
to
all Hendrix. Good Blues Fast is only 6-7 songs on it, but they're all covers of musicians or guitar heroes. Things that have shaped the way I play, things that have been a staple in my shows and stuff ever since I started playing. So
I love it.
Yeah, there's Hendrix, Stevie Ray Vaughan, Eric Clapton, Freddie King.
Oh my gosh. Some lightweights.
Yeah.
Well, let's hear a little Voodoo Joe. And again, y'all, we're not playing it in its entirety because we want you to go out and buy music because these poor musicians aren't gigging. And so we got to make some money for them somehow. So go out and buy some of their music. We'll be right back after hearing some Voodoo Joe.
going with that gun in your hand? Hey Joe, where you going with that gun in your hand? I'm going now to shoot my old lady.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to pull it out.
Caught her messing around.
You're back on Ride the Vibe. That was Voodoo Joe. That's a medley. Ooh, this wellness shot. It's good. It's good. A medley of Voodoo Child and Hey Joe.
Yeah.
And we were talking while that song was playing. I said to Hughes that my favorite song of Hendrix's is Red House. And you, in the spirit of full disclosure, tell the audience, our listeners who are out there, Chip Litton, Chuck, and Dennis Davies, and Susan, and Jamil, and Brian Garrett, all my peeps. Thank you so much for tuning in.
Well, so what I was saying is that we do Red House on Good Blues Fast. It's on the album.
Yeah.
And personally, that's one of my favorite and what I think is probably my best one-take performances that we've ever done.
Love it. Yeah.
And you know, it just was one of those things. We play it live.
Yeah.
When we started really playing it the way we do it on our on the record, I had people come up to me and say, "Man, I didn't know that you did it like that. Do that song." I love that. But yeah, it's one of my favorites to play of his because it's just you can do so much with it.
Classic.
And I kind of talk about it in a blog post when I recorded this album. I talked about each song and why we chose it and why we didn't put all the other ones that I wanted to put on there.
Yeah.
And for that one, Red House was sort of my introduction to, or sort of my realization that the blues doesn't have to be structured, cut and dry. The blues can be psychedelic. The blues can be jam. Obviously, and I've known that, but when I was first starting out, 13 years old, 14 years old, I kind of separated psychedelic and jam and blues. It's like when you play blues, it's got to be, it's part of the 1-4-5.
Yeah.
And Red House is 1-4-5 12 bar.
Yeah.
But the things that he does with the guitar and goes back and forth, and he does the the certain delay that he has on the guitar that just comes up out of nowhere and then goes back down, and then he has there's some things that I'm like, I didn't know you could do that with the blues. And so as a super young teenager, 13 years old, I was like, oh wow, okay,
like
Hendrix is
the blues
cool.
is cool.
Yeah.
And one of your other heroes, you do a Stevie Ray Vaughan.
Yes, Stevie.
And in it just totally, and I don't believe in coincidence. I think everything happens for a reason. But just totally serendipitously, last evening I stumble upon "Rise of a Texas Blues Man," a documentary talking about Texas bluesmen, but primarily Stevie Ray Vaughan. And I would highly, for all you blues fans out there, would highly recommend you seeking it out. It's just fascinating. And talk about the song and the song you do on that that is a tribute to Stevie Ray and Stevie Ray's influence on it.
Yeah, we do Pride and Joy on
Pride
Good Blues
and Joy.
Fast.
Oh, love it.
And that song, the reason for doing that one is because that was one of the first songs that I learned, really learned how to play note for note.
Yeah.
Well, as close to it,
Yeah.
as I could get. But and it was the opener for all my sets when I was first starting gigging and things. And it was the first song my wife ever actually saw me play, which is cool. And so that song, we put it on there.
Love
Stevie,
that song.
if you listen to anything I do, it's very clear that Stevie was one of my
big influences.
And I thank Norris Tapley for that. He was a friend of my dad's, and he's no longer with us, but he introduced me to
Texas Flood.
Well, he introduced me to just the blues in general. But Stevie Ray Vaughan, he gave me a box set and of everything that was ever released of Stevie's, and then he gave me a couple of DVD concerts on DVD that I watched religiously and
the
watched
Montrose
over
Jazz
and
Festival?
over. Yeah,
where he gets booed.
He got booed the first night, and then they invited
he's
him
a little
back.
too electric.
Yeah, and that really shaped the way I play, and so that was without a doubt the first song that I wanted to put on the album.
Yeah.
And then it almost didn't make it because it was the only one that was too similar to the original.
Ah, wow.
The rest of them we do our own thing for, like Crossroads and Voodoo Joe. I mean, the medley and Red House. We do very different from what the recording was.
Yeah.
But Pride and Joy was the same structure.
Wow.
Not quite the same solo, but almost too close. And I was like, I don't even know if this would be good to put. But he's my hero, and that song means a lot. So
I love it.
We're doing
Well, we need to hear some more of your music, I think.
more of my music.
Yeah. Let's hear Just One Night.
Just One
This
Night.
is you referenced your wife, Eva.
Evie.
Or Evie. So, Evie, I hope you're out there listening, but shout out to you. And this is Evie's favorite.
Yeah, this is
honey?
Evie's favorite, even though my favorite, the one that I wrote for her, is Promise.
And we're going to play that, too.
Yeah, we'll play
But we're
both.
starting with her first, y'all, because, it's all about women.
Yeah.
Empowering women. And we need more help on the planet, y'all, women. Just One Night, Hughes Taylor. And we'll be right back talking more stuff.
Wish and wonder, but all of the while you don't know the pressure she's under. Her kiss is tender. You wonder how much of the night that she's gonna remember. And as you say, please don't go away, you're calling out for her to stay. You know if she could treat you right, begging for just one night. And with her candor, you can't help the way that you're going to misunderstand her. You beg and plead, but she'll never be all the loving that she really needs. And as you say, please don't go away, you're calling out.
You are back on Ride the Vibe. Michael Litton, the last DJ, playing what he wants to play, and in this case, playing the brilliant music of Hughes Taylor, Macon, Georgia. Boy, up in Dahlonega now. And again, a huge shout out to my friend Phil Wall, Kill Me Crazy, for these tropical tripping drinks. We're not tripping, though. We're just drinking them and enjoying them. And that was Just One Night off of Hughes's second release, Restless. And not only is that his wife Evie's favorite, but Hughes shared with me that's his mom's favorite. And then to get a trifecta, Wahid Gomes weighed in and said, whoa, he likes that one too. So y'all want to go out and get Restless. And also Hughes was telling me, as we were listening to that music, that he's in the middle of a contest. It's called 478 Sings.
United.
And I'll let you talk about that and what that is.
So it is a bracket-style music competition.
Yeah.
Benefiting COVID-19. It's the Response and Recovery Fund for Central Georgia.
478 is the area code.
The area code. So 478 Sings United. United Way is putting it on of Central Georgia.
Yeah.
And it's a great cause.
Yeah.
A lot of really, really amazing talent is in this competition. I have some friends that are in it, and so it's a cool.
And you're in the
really
third
cool thing.
round.
I'm in the third round. We made it to the third round.
And you're
Thank
thinking
you.
maybe this song.
Yeah, I was thinking about doing Just One Night.
So you guys have to weigh in. Put your comments on Facebook. Let them know if that's a song. And the way it rolls, y'all, because the last DJ couldn't figure this out when I voted. I voted, but it doesn't really count unless you put a dollar amount to it.
Right. So it's $1 a vote, and all of the money goes straight to the COVID-19 response and relief. So it benefits Central Georgia, and it's $1 a vote, and artist with the most votes gets to go forward to the next round.
Yeah.
And so I'm in the second region. We just wrapped up our region. Currently, they're doing the third region of the second round.
Yeah.
And then they'll do one more, and then round 2 will be complete. We'll start round 3, I think, next week around this time.
So Ride the Vibe listeners out there, if you're digging this music of Hughes Taylor, a Macon boy, go ahead and get on his Facebook page, Hughes Taylor, and watch for this contest, 478 Sings, and then pony up a couple bucks and vote for Hughes into the third round. Let's see if we can get him into the finals.
Yeah,
man.
that would be great.
How cool would that be? And we're going to play, this song was the song you had in the first round, if I'm not mistaken. Is
Yeah,
that
this
right?
was my submission.
Submission
this
song.
was my very first one.
And this is your favorite to play off the
Yes.
CD Restless.
Absolutely.
And this was, as I understand it, you wrote it for Evie.
Yes.
And at your, I guess, wedding, you all danced to
Yes.
it?
Yeah. I wrote this song for Evie with sort of the intent that it would be the song that we danced to at our wedding. But and then that actually came to fruition when we got married. And so I was
man, don't
excited
you all
about
love a
that,
love
so.
story like that? That's awesome.
So this is my favorite on the album. My
Understandably.
favorite to play.
So let's hear a little Promise, y'all, and that's off of Restless.
Have you ever felt such a love? Like the one we share, you and I. And I feel so alive. When I'm lost in your eyes. I just want you to know I won't let you go. 'Cause I know just
You're back on Ride the Vibe. Michael Litton, the last DJ. Thanks to all the listeners out there who are experiencing this first for us. A live broadcast, post the world changing, and video. Thanks to Otis. We're in the DRSATL Atlanta studios, and they're now doing live stream podcasts. And you all, if you're out there anywhere on the planet, you can do a podcast through DRSATL. So how cool is that? So, if you're looking for a way to get your message out in this crazy world we're in now, how about considering DRSATL's live stream podcast? That was Promise. That's off Hughes Taylor's Restless, which is his second release. And that is his favorite. He wrote that in tribute to his wife. And on July 21st, they'll be celebrating their second year anniversary. And he got it right, Evie.
I hope that's right.
I love it. So Stevie Ray, Hendrix, and then Clapton as big influence. Talk a little bit about the connection with Clapton and where you first came to him.
Clapton was always one of my dad's favorite guitar players,
yeah.
and again, Tap, what we called Norris Tapley, the guy who introduced me to Stevie.
Yeah.
He introduced me to Clapton's blues by giving me the From the Cradle CD.
Yeah.
And that was, in fact, I think two of the songs. We want to do a lot more,
Yeah.
and two of the songs that we actually did, like recorded were on that, From the Cradle.
Yeah.
And
That did it for you.
I mean, he's his blues and his phrasing and things
Yeah.
are just they're so, and there's a reason why he's been elevated to the position that he's in, is
Yeah.
because he's got the it.
And when we were talking about it in the run up to the show, in Rise of a Texas Blues Man, they go back and trace where Stevie Ray and Texas got so Blind Lemon Jefferson, and then T-Bone Walker, and then Lightning Hopkins, all. So the lineage, and what's ironic, and you are a student and a musicologist, is the blues really had lost favor in the United States, and it wasn't until the Stones kind of brought it back.
That British invasion.
Yeah, and it was blues based. Kind of crazy. Well, this is a song that got you.
The second round.
Second round,
This was my second round song, and we made it through to the third round. So,
and it kind of has a title that's somewhat similar to a Traffic. Gotta find my way.
Oh, Can't Find My Way.
Can't
I
yeah.
didn't think about that. Yeah.
So Can't
Love
Find
that
My
song.
Way Home by Traffic, and Stevie Winwood, a brilliant guitarist
love
in his own right. But this is Got to Find My Way Home.
It's very different.
And, very different. But this is Hughes Taylor, and this is off his second album, Restless.
Yeah.
So let's hear a little of Got to Find My Way Home.
Well, now, baby, tell me what you wanna do. Well, now, darling, tell me what you wanna do. I'll do anything just to be with you. Make me crazy, woman, never felt like this before. You make me crazy, woman, never felt like this before. Gonna wrap myself around you till I can't anymore. My baby's calling, I've gotta find my way back home. My baby's calling, I've gotta find my way back home. And I'm headed back to Georgia, can't stay here anymore.
Gotta Find My Way Home. And y'all, every once in a while, the last DJ, like a blind squirrel finds a nut. So I'm gonna use this segue, because in those lyrics, if you're listening carefully, he talks about wanting to get back to Georgia, and that was prophetic because he spent 3 weeks over in the UK. He and his band over in the UK, and we've got a couple mates out there from the UK that are listening in. So thank you all for that. Hughes, talk about what an experience that was and what you had to give up.
Oh, it was incredible.
To
yeah.
go, because
We, So yeah, we had the ask to play for the Capricorn when they reopened and all this sort of stuff,
Yeah.
and I had to turn them down because we were en route to the UK, and that was unbelievable. We got to. It was an amazing experience. We opened for a band, the Heather Finley Band, and Heather Finley has become a really good friend now, and her band is just this group of world-class musicians. That
out of the UK.
Yes, all of them. Most of them are York-based,
Yeah.
and then Emily Lynn, I think, is from somewhere near London, I think is what she said, and then Dave, the drummer, is from Scotland, Glasgow.
Nice.
So it was just an awesome group of people and super talented. unbelievable. We got to play. We ended up playing 8 shows in 7 different cities. 2 of those were in York, just kind of on our days off.
Yeah.
Some unbelievable musicians. The bass player for Heather, Stu, has a band called The Mothers, and they asked us to come play sort of like as in the middle of their set. So they took a break, and we played during their set break.
Oh, wow.
And The Mothers, I mean, they were awesome. It was just
bass.
incredible. Pub. The pub was packed shoulder to shoulder, and I mean, I literally could not get out the door. And they were unbelievable. The energy was crazy. Stu's awesome. And then that I think it was that same weekend even, the guitar player Martin invited us to come play half of their set. So they gave us the first half of their set. We got to actually let loose and play a show, and then we got to see Martin and Sledge.
They love the blues over there, don't
yes,
they?
yeah, they do. But and they were awesome too. Martin, super funny guy. He's really talented, and their band played all these like classic rock songs and some American rock and things like that. But they played specifically like their last song. They did a medley of these different rock songs to the wrong music.
Oh.
So like it wasn't wrong. It was awesome.
It just worked. Yeah,
yeah,
it
it
worked.
just. And so when we were over there, I kept asking Nate. I was like, "Is everyone in the UK just incredibly talented at what they do, or are we just surrounded by the best?"
It's in their DNA.
It was
well, and you're a guitarist extraordinaire,
Yes,
but
well,
you got to sit
guitarist.
down at a keyboard that was very special.
Oh yes,
Talk about that.
So as part of the tour, we were so we had a trip from York. We went to Nottingham, and then Nottingham to London, and then London to Bristol, and we went down south that way. And from Bristol, we went and took a quick little pit stop over in Wales at Rockfield Studios, and everybody in the van was like, "We just want to go home," but we were kind of like, "Come on, we can do it," and it was so worth it.
Yeah.
We went to Rockfield Studios where so many amazing records have been cut, and Freddie Mercury's Bohemian Rhapsody piano was there, and I got to play it. I didn't play it well. my bass player Nate actually played it, and he actually played Bohemian Rhapsody on it.
He did.
Yeah,
Oh,
just a little bit of it.
So talk about your mates in the band, in the Hughes Taylor band.
Yeah. Nate is the bassist, and Adriana is our drummer.
Yeah.
And they are just unbelievably talented people.
Yeah. Now, how did you come to meet him?
So
Nate and Adriana, we hope you're out there listening. Want to get a shout out into you.
So before I actually had a band, whenever I played a show, I would seriously just call up whoever I thought was in the area that might be free, and that's just how I played for years. If I was in Macon, I'd call a couple people, and whoever said yes first played the thing. Same thing. Like I had people up in Athens and Atlanta and all this, and so I had a show in Athens that my usual go-to wasn't able to, and he said, "Let me give you a number of someone else," and it was Nate. And from that night, Nate was my go-to from then on. Nate, he's just so we were playing together a lot. And if he couldn't do something, I would still do I'd call whoever I could. And for the drums, I met Selena Corbin. She was our drummer before Adriana, and she's the one who recorded Good Blues Fast.
Wow.
And I met her. We went to school together. We had a class together, and we were introduced by a mutual friend at one of my shows. And so last minute, my drummer for a show that we had coming up dropped out. And at school, I said, "Hey, do you want to play this weekend or next weekend?" It was really soon. And she was like, "Sure." So after that, the three of us played, and I think we had that band for a year and a half. Nate, Selena, and myself. And then Selena moved to Tennessee to get her master's. And so when she left, Nate and Adriana are actually dating, and they live together.
Wow.
And Nate said, well, actually, I asked Adriana if she'd be interested, and she was like, "Sure." So we started rehearsing. This was July last year.
Female drummer. I love it.
Yeah.
Kind of like Carlos Santana's wife.
And she's got an amazing voice, and she just has this really cool way of playing. She plays open-handed, so it looks like she's left-handed, but but not. And so she plays open instead of
And
like
always
this.
a power trio?
And always.
So A.K. Hendrix and
yeah,
Cream
yeah.
and Double Trouble.
I'd love to add keys at some point if we
Right,
could, but we
Chuck
had just,
Lavelle?
Yeah, Chuck, please. I actually got to meet him
love it.
for something, but yeah, he was such an awesome guy. But that would be incredible.
He's South of Macon.
Yeah.
It's a natural fit. Yeah. Well, so the last DJ doesn't like to say he has favorites because, they're all unbelievable. But upon first listen, when I got introduced to Hughes, and I have to give a big shout out to Lucy Pillar, All Right Now Entertainment. I don't believe there's a musician on the planet that Lucy doesn't know, and she's been very, very gracious and kind to introduce the last DJ to all these very talented musicians. So huge shout out to Lucy Pillar and ARN Entertainment. If you're a musician out there looking for someone to promote you, you definitely want to get Lucy Pillar on your side. But at any rate, Lucy introduces me to Hughes, and in the run-up to the show, I'm listening to all the different songs, and the one that resonated with me, because I like them long, especially if they're good, like Hughes' music is, this one is titled The Way You Used to Love Me. Then it's kind of subtitled The Angry Blues Song. And it runs about 7 minutes, y'all. So you want to go out and buy it and buy the album. This is also off of Restless, his second CD. And we're just going to play a little bit, and it really doesn't even get into the guitars. It doesn't do it justice, but we're going to play it because I can play what I want to play. I'm the last DJ. Let's cue that up if we could, Wahid.
Well, the way you used to love me, baby. Well, it shook me to my core. Yeah, the way you used to love me, baby. It shook me to my core. But now I gotta hold you. No, you don't love me anymore.
You are back on Ride the Vibe. Michael Litton, the last DJ, playing what he wants to play and saying what he wants to say. That's kind of dangerous. And that's The Way You Used to Love Me. And that song really starts to cook at the end. So you guys want to go out and get that however you get music these days. And then hopefully things are going to open back up again. Roswell politicians, come on, man. Let's get the live venues going again. Alive in Roswell, Music on the Hill, Riverside Sounds, Food Truck Fridays. Musicians need to gig to make any money. So let's get that open back up, all outdoor venues, and we can do it. And you were telling me right as we were playing that song about a project that Blues Crew, I think you were
the
mentioning.
Hughes Blues Crew is
yeah.
something that I've stared during this time of no gigging.
Yeah.
It's a subscription-based fan club, if
Okay.
you will.
Yep.
That when you sign up, you get all of my music and anything that I produce and ever put into the world. It goes to whoever signs up first. So it's a so when I finish this next album,
Yeah.
whoever signed up on the Blues Crew will get it like months before it ever reaches iTunes or Spotify, anything like that. And then I'm also putting things on there like demos, live recordings. I know I keep saying live recordings, and I'm sure people in the Blues Crew are like, where are the live recordings? I just fixed my computer, and I can finally get to those touches that need to be done. But yeah, we're gonna put some of that onto the crew, and things like discounts on merch. There's when we do get to do live shows again, VIP access type things will be a part of it. First access to tickets and a discount on any sort of tickets like that.
So good value for.
It's
those
really
of you
cool.
in the area here.
I'm thrilled with how many people we've had sign up already. I've got 2 songs on there now that one of them it's so different from anything that I've ever done that I might just leave it on the Blues Crew and just kind of see how it goes. But I've got another song on there called Quarantine Blues that we'll try and do something with. And there's some really cool things I'm working on.
So think about that, y'all, to support Hughes Taylor, either the Blues Crew and sign up and support him in the 478 Sings contest. See if we can get him through to the finals. And then we've been working backwards in his discography, and we're going to play a song off his first debut release, Hear My Melody. And this is a song called Streams, and this is one of the band's favorites to play.
Yeah. We opened every show in the UK with this song.
Yeah.
And it's there's so much room for you can do so much with it. Nate takes this song and we go back and forth with solos, and we kind of like talk to each other with the instruments, and he really kills it on that one. Yeah, I think that one's his favorite, and it's a fun one.
So let's hear a little bit of Streams. And again, we're not playing the whole song, y'all.
Hey, now, darling, you wanna go down to the river where that water flows. Way down to the river, way downstream, way to the ocean. Oh, my girl and me.
You are back on Rod the Vibe. Michael Litton, the last DJ, having a fascinating conversation and playing some great, great music from Hughes Taylor. Also have to give a shout out once again, to my friend Phil Wall. Got a great program going on, Feed the Front Lines. He's taking donations, then he's turning the money into food, good, healthy food, and wellness shots. We just finished one here in the studio to keep ourselves healthy, proactively, preventatively, all those P words. And so you can donate to that, and you can buy some Hughes Taylor and his band music. You can join the Blues Crew, and you can help support him, getting them through to the final round and the finals of 478 Sings. So all of the above, y'all, because you're just sitting out there and, you can't spend a lot of money going out and stuff, so you might as well spend it with musicians who are struggling. Hughes, we're almost at the top of the hour, but just kind of wrap it up, parting thoughts, any other shout-outs, anything the last DJ missed?
I've had a blast doing this. This has been nice. So
Good.
I'm happy to be here. Hope to be back.
Yeah, well, and you know, I like to say to the guests, this is not a one-off. It's an open invitation to come back in when you're working on another project, and when things open back up and you're out playing live, we definitely want to get out to the shows and see you live, and definitely want to encourage the promoters, Lee J. Howard with Lee J. Howard Entertainment and Tom Ladow, who are booking music in Roswell, to strongly consider Hughes Taylor and the Hughes Taylor Band. Definitely want to do that. And also, again, just a shout out and a big thank you to Wahid Gomes, DRSATL, right here in Roswell, Georgia. If y'all are looking for a place to do some recording, you're looking for a place to do a podcast, they've now got live streaming, as you're seeing. This is a first for us on Ride the Vibe. And also a shout out to Otis Tillman and all the folks that tuned in. Thank you guys so much for that. It means the world to me personally. And with that, we're out of here. Ride the Vibe. Michael Litton, the last DJ.
But it's not too late to set the record straight. Better get her done, son, 'cause the hour is grown late. Maybe there's a DJ out there somewhere who has a few regrets and a list of things that he meant to do but hasn't gotten round to yet. Well, maybe he'll feel a little empathy and play this on his FM show. Better late than never. Here's my thanks to whoever plays my song on the radio.